Imagine being pulled over by a police officer while driving safely and obeying all traffic laws. You're confused, worried, but there's more to this story. In just 5 minutes, everything changes. What could possibly happen in such a short span of time? Stay tuned to witness a twist that you'll never forget. In today's world, we're confronted with complex issues of race and authority, often played out on our streets. In this story, a routine traffic stop takes an unexpected turn, driving home the reality of these challenges in a powerful way. This incident isn't just about one woman's experience, but reflects a broader societal issue that we must address. Join us today as we delve into an event that happened in just 5 minutes, but has implications that reach far beyond that fleeting moment. Stay with us to unpack a narrative that's as unforgettable as it is important in today's society. A Black woman named Lisa is driving home after a long day at work. She's exhausted but relieved to be heading home. Suddenly, she sees the flashing lights of a police car behind her. Her heart races. What's going on? Did she do something wrong? Is she being targeted? These questions flood her mind as she pulls over to the side of the road. For many people of color, this scenario is all too familiar. Racial profiling is a reality that affects countless individuals. Studies show that Black drivers are more likely to be stopped by police than white drivers, even when they commit no traffic violations. This systemic issue leads to a cycle of fear, mistrust, and tension between communities and law enforcement. So why does this happen? What are the factors at play here? Let's take a closer look at the broader context of racial profiling. It's easy to think of racism as something that exists only in extreme actions or words, but it often operates in much subtler ways. Systemic racism is embedded in our institutions, including law enforcement. In Lisa's case, she's not just a person being pulled over. She's also a representation of a larger struggle against bias. When Officer Smith approaches her car, he may not even realize the assumptions he's making based on her race. Implicit bias can influence decisions without conscious awareness. Officer Smith might think he's just doing his job, but his actions can have serious consequences. For Lisa, this moment is not just an inconvenience. It's a reminder of the constant vigilance she must maintain as a Black woman in America. It's an experience that many people can relate to, and it raises significant questions about fairness and justice. As the conversation unfolds, Lisa bravely stands up for herself. She questions Officer Smith about why she was pulled over. This moment of confrontation is pivotal. Lisa knows her rights, and she refuses to be silent. The tension escalates as Officer Smith feels his authority being challenged. But just when it seems like the situation might spiral out of control, another officer arrives on the scene. Officer Johnson, a younger officer trained in de-escalation techniques, steps in. This is a crucial moment. Officer Johnson's presence changes the dynamic entirely. He approaches Lisa with a calm demeanor and tries to ease her fears. This interaction is a perfect example of how training and awareness can make a difference. Officer Johnson understands that the way he approaches the situation can either escalate or de-escalate tensions. His training plays a key role in promoting understanding and respect. Now, let's fast forward to the climax of this encounter. As Officer Johnson talks to Lisa, he manages to break through the tension that has built up. He acknowledges her concerns and listens to her. This is an important step in bridging the gap between law enforcement and the community. When Officer Johnson informs Lisa that she is free to go, it's a huge relief for her. In that moment, she feels seen and heard. This encounter could have ended very differently, but thanks to Officer Johnson's approach, it transforms into a moment of understanding rather than conflict. What does this teach us? It highlights the power of communication and empathy in difficult situations. It shows that not all encounters have to end in fear or anger. Instead, they can lead to understanding and resolution. So, what have we learned from Lisa's experience? This story reflects the realities many people face when interacting with law enforcement. It underscores the importance of understanding systemic issues like racial profiling and implicit bias. More than that, it reveals the potential for change when officers are trained to approach situations with empathy and respect. It's a reminder that every interaction matters, and how we handle these moments can have a lasting impact. If you found this story important, make sure to subscribe for more content that sheds light on these crucial issues.